welcome to Health Talks. Today we're going to talk about raw food and is it as hot as everyone thinks that it is? So guys, what's your experience with the raw food? Are you in the raw?
Most of the time I am in the raw.
Yeah?
A huge chunk of my diet is raw. I have lots of juices, smoothies, salads. But then the other side of it is that I also have a lot of cooked, like I have rolled oats, I have baked potatoes, I have baked pumpkin, I have cooked quinoa, all of these things that my body feels like it needs. Yeah, so what about you?
Same, like I have, I think the raw thing is really cool to do, like for maybe 2 weeks to kind of give your system a little bit of a boost, but it's not sustainable to do for like, say I'm going to be raw forever. Your body, it's just not sustainable for your body. Like my body craves warm pumpkin and quinoa and really good quality organic grass-fed meats and things like that. But I think, overloading your plate with as much raw salad and smoothies and juices is really important as well.
Yeah.
I think that's really valid, and I know from a Chinese medicine perspective that if we have too much cold food, which a lot of raw food is in its thermal nature, we'll classify that as cold or cooling, then that cools down your digestive fire. If the digestive fire depletes too much, it slows down your metabolism.
Absolutely.
And especially my hometown of Melbourne, where it's cold much of the year, and it's certainly very hot, but when I used to live in Melbourne, our winters are extremely cold.
Yeah.
And when I was practicing nutrition in the clinic down there, then I would see so many people coming to me in the middle of winter eating raw food.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, for goodness sake, have a roast potato,
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay, it's not going to
Yeah, you need to look at the seasons.
Absolutely.
And listen to your body because it's going to tell you what it wants to eat. I mean, in summer, sure, you're going to want to eat more raw foods. That's natural because our bodies want foods that are going to cool them down. But in winter, we need those warming foods.
Absolutely.
To warm up the organs.
Absolutely. And I have a really cold constitution, so it just doesn't work for me. It's just, too much of that just makes me feel a bit off. So yeah, I really have to put that into my system. And it's, again, just listening to your body. Your body will tell you what it wants.
Yeah. Definitely.
I've
looked at raw food from a culinary perspective, obviously, and I actually like to call the aspects of the raw foods that I use in my cooking and surf spa food as living cuisine. So rather than just raw crudité, raw vegetables and so forth, which is not what raw food is all about. It's a little bit more complex and a little bit more beautiful than that. But the living cuisines are amplified with a lot of raw sprouts, which we'll look at when we do some classes and cooking demonstrations. The sprouts, a lot of energising food and food that's really rich in enzymes. And I think if you combine that, even if it is the middle of the winter and you throw in a few handfuls of sprouts into a warm, really rich pumpkin soup, then you're going to get the benefits of that raw ingredient, particularly that very medicinal one, into that warming environment. So Jess, you went to LA recently and you ate at Planet Raw. Tell me about some of the dishes that you had while you were there.
It was incredible. It was the most beautifully put together food I've ever eaten. And we went for lunch, we went for dinner, we went for breakfast, and then we went back and we bought $50 worth of smoothies, which are incredible. But the thing is that all of these dishes, while they're amazing, are very heavy because they contain a lot of nuts and seeds and cashew cream. And for me, it was a novelty at first because being on Gerson therapy, I have had no nuts, no seeds, absolutely no cheese for the past 2.5 years. And so when I figured out that you could make cheese out of nuts, I went crazy with it. And I was like, oh my God, I have to have these on everything. But then I'm like, oh my God, I'm putting on a little bit of weight here because it was just heavy for me from eating such gentle salads and soups and lightly cooked veggies for the past 2.5 years to go to really heavy dishes like that. My body didn't really like it.
And if you're not used to it,
yes,
your body just kind of doesn't really know how to handle it.
Small amounts.
So I think small amounts in moderation of raw. And Mel, are you in agreement with that?
I totally agree with that. And I think when people are new to this sort of eating with superfoods and vegan food and all this sort of stuff, and it becoming more and more popular in Australia, they get really excited and they're like, oh my God, cashew cheese, oh my God.
Oh my God, cashew cheese.
And they get so excited, but remember, your body hasn't eaten this before. It's not really sure what's going on. So, everything in moderation.
Although, raw desserts.
Oh my God.
Holy cow.
Raw desserts are amazing, and we'll make a raw tiramisu, I promise, in another segment.
Raw cheesecake.
I promise, and a raw cheesecake, and we'll explain physical and practically how to make a cashew cheese, but not just yet. So the cashew cheese is everywhere. It's the next big thing, but I think it's been undone.
Yeah.
So what do we reckon? Raw is here to stay, or raw is a part of daily life and integrated with other food?
I think integrate it. Don't become so dogmatic with it. Don't let it.
Do you see that's what
Yes,
happens
absolutely.
with raw food?
Don't let raw food dictate your diet. Don't say, okay, I can't eat that because it's heated above however many degrees you're allowed. Don't be sticking thermometers in everything that you eat. If you want to eat something that's cooked, eat it. But also load your diet up with plenty of raw salads and juices and smoothies so that you're getting all of those enzymes.
And you know why we cook food, don't you? One, it's to kill off the microbes.
Yes.
And two,
Digestion.
absolutely, is to make it a lot more digestible. And I think that's probably the fundamental element, that if you're switching toward or moving toward a place of raw food or living cuisine, as I much prefer to call it, then is your digestion ready to take that quality of food on board?
Yeah, and you may need a digestive enzyme as well. I take that.
Yes,
to help.
really great point.
Yeah.
So there's the skinny on the raw, folks. We'd love to hear from you, so drop us a line.